help me in welcoming our CEO, founder, and creator of Black People Eats, Mr. Jeremey Joyce.
I don't know how to dance, y'all.
How are you doing? How are you doing?
The Popeye, is that intentional? They got some new snack wraps. How y'all doing? Good. Y'all feel good? Yeah. It's hot outside.
Now, I'm glad that you brought up Popeyes. So in the classes today, we started answering a burning question. So we want to first know, what do you rate as the best chicken spot in Chicago?
Chicken?
Yes.
No sauce or sauce?
We talking about sauce.
No sauce. I'm going to do Cleo's on 43rd.
Okay.
Because I like chicken now without sauce. I don't really want sauce like that on my chicken. Because I feel like a lot of people, they hide behind the sauce.
That's
and
true.
And they do regular chicken, nah.
Okay, but now...
With sauce? Like commercial or like anything?
We're talking Harold's, Uncle Remus, JJ, Sharks. Who you rating the top?
Wait, is this recorded? I'll tell y'all after. I'll say this personally. Harold's has better sauce. Uncle Remus has better chicken. Like when you because I film for both. Harold's got better sauce. Uncle Remus got better chicken. To me, JJ Fish got better lemon pepper.
That's true.
Like if I could take all three and make a baby, that'd be my favorite.
Okay.
But it's because like JJ Fish, they lemon pepper fries, but then like Harold's chicken with the sauce, but then like Uncle Remus chicken is top one. But I'm always go to Cleo's.
Okay.
Cleo's got, to me, the best chicken in Chicago. I love her chicken.
I agree.
I love her
agree.
chicken.
So let's just jump right into the first question. So we want to know, how did you find your voice or style as a food influencer?
Honestly, everybody want to be like a foodie today. Like everybody a food influencer. So when I first got started, nobody was really doing what I was doing. So y'all all want to do something, right? Think about this. Y'all going to be some of the first people to do something today. But tomorrow, somebody going to see what you're doing. They going to like it. They going to want to be like you, which is cool. But then everybody's going to want to do it. So what made me unique in the beginning is what makes me common. So I had to reinvent myself because like everybody does food. So in the beginning, I was only promoting Black-owned restaurants because people didn't care about Black-owned restaurants. Like nobody was going to the South Side, East Side, the hood. They wasn't going to Black restaurants unless they was like in River North, Gold Coast, Lincoln Park. So I started going with local Black-owned businesses. Now everybody does that. So then what I started doing is I started getting paid to travel. Like y'all ever heard of Jamaica, Barbados? So I started going to those countries because I said nobody goes to these places and highlight their food. Now a lot of people are starting to highlight food and wine festivals. So now I'm actually about to start trying other like food, like not Caribbean, like Dominican food, Puerto Rican food, Asian food, Cuban food. Like I've never ate that.
Now let me tell you now, you already making us hungry.
I'm hungry.
You're making us real hungry now, okay? So I do want to bring it over to our co-host. He does have a question from you.
I just wanted to ask, how much time goes into every video, like with planning and deciding where to go?
You know what? I like that question. You know why? Because people see what other people do, and they think it's easy. So, wait, how old are y'all? 15, 16, 17? Yeah. All right. My degree was in finance. So I used to work in investments. So I would move like millions of dollars every day. That's what my job was. I did not know how to edit at all. So y'all know how y'all spend y'all weekends having fun? I cut my weekends out. So what I did was I learned how to edit. It took me hours and hours and hours and hours to edit. I didn't spend time with my friends. At the time I had a girlfriend. I had broke up with my girlfriend because all I cared about was trying to master something. And when you really trying to be good, you got to sacrifice something. Like, there was times my friends was going out and I really wanted to go outside. There was time they was partying. I really wanted to go party, but I couldn't because I was trying to learn how to edit and I didn't know how to edit. So it was even harder. And I wasn't gifted at editing. So it took a lot of times. Now, on average, it takes me about 19 minutes to edit a restaurant video. It takes me about an hour and a half to edit like a video if I go out the country. But it took me time. It took me a long time to get that. You know, like right now, I get paid like $10,000 to do a video in an hour. I couldn't do that when I first started. But I had to learn, I had to study, I had to watch. It took me like 8 years to get to this point. And the reason I want to tell y'all that, because like a lot of times people tell you you can do it, but it takes time. It takes time to become like a master at something. And I'm like still learning. Like I love my videos, but damn, videos is way better than mine. You know, because there's like progression. And when you first start something, I always tell people, you don't even know how long it's taking you because you're having so much fun. You're not even thinking about the time.
Mm-hmm. Well, I do want to say a lot of our students now have the advantage because they're taking Ms. Hawkins' video editing class, right? Right. So you guys are kind of getting that basic, basic intro to that. So that kind of takes off a little bit of time for you.
But you know what I will say? Y'all have it easier because now y'all got AI and y'all can just upload different stuff and it just create videos for y'all. Mm-hmm. Even though it's easy to do it, I still recommend learning how to do a video from scratch. Because what's going to happen is, I know a lot of times people are talking about, like, how do I stand out in a space where everybody's trying to get in? Mm-hmm. If everybody knows how to do AI videos, what's going to make it different? One of the things that's going to make y'all stand different is, can you storytell? Can you create a video from scratch? If somebody gave you nothing and just gave you a whole bunch of clips, could you tell a story without the help of AI? That's what's going to help you out, because now what I'm noticing is all these influencers' videos look the same. So if everybody, why does it look the same? Because you know what they do? They just take clips, they upload it to these AIs, and they create these videos, and now all the same cuts and still things look the same. You become unique the more you learn. The more you learn, you'll be like, hey, I noticed that in the first 3 seconds of my video, everybody does yellow font, but nobody does blue. But it's hard to do that though when you don't create something and you just upload stuff. So I know the easy way is just use these tools. Those are great, but still find a way where you can learn what they call the fundamentals, the basic things. That's how you become successful, in my opinion.
I agree. So I do want to bring you back to something you said a little bit earlier, talking about how much you make off of videos now. Mm-hmm. So that brings me to my next question, which is, how do you monetize your content through ads, partnerships, and your, just advertising your own product and what you're doing?
There's a lot of different companies. So this is how you get paid from social media. The first thing you need to do is have an audience, right? Who do y'all like watching when y'all go home online? Come on, y'all be scared, don't be nervous. Who y'all like watching?
They're acting a little shy today.
Y'all like Kai Sinai? Do some people listen to Glorilla? Yeah. Okay, how do she get paid millions of dollars? How does he get paid millions of dollars? What's the first thing that you must need in order to get people's attention? And you need people's attention. If I have multiple people's attention, what do I have? An audience. So if you have access to a lot of people, companies will pay to that. So that's the first way you get paid. You got to have an audience. Without an audience, you cannot make no money. You're just a person talking or a person doing something. So the first thing you need is an audience. Now, here's the difference. Most of y'all have been in relationships before, right? Had a boyfriend or girlfriend, right? Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, some haven't. Now, you all know the person that gives you attention. They text, they call all the time. That's the person you have a good relationship, right? Now, what about the person that gets your number and then you never hear from them again? Right. You don't want to spend time with that person. So treat your audience like if you was in a relationship. Imagine if you just showed up one time. Your audience don't fall in love with you. Your audience don't trust you. But imagine if you show up every day, you're genuine, you're consistent, you give them love, and they can trust you. Then you build a rapport with your audience. And what happens is a company will see that, like McDonald's. I worked with like Raising Cane's. I work with Popeyes. They'll see that and they say, hey, you got access to 400,000 people. How much would it cost us for you to tell something to these people for us, on behalf of us? So the first way to get paid is brand partnerships, and you can't do that without having an audience. The next way is community. Like, let's say if there's a group of people that loves to cook, and I did cooking videos, and I say, you know what, if you give me $10 a month, we all gonna cook together every month. We're gonna go live together, we're gonna do this. The next way to get paid is community. And then the third way to get paid is your own products. Like, you can have your own. For me, I had my own festival before. It did like $1 million. You can have your own like merchandise. Like, some people sell clothes, some people sell hats, some people sell glasses. And products, merchandise, and events, those are another way. But you only can get paid from those three ways. Either the community, either brands, or products. And then you get paid from people watching your videos. So for like every 1,000 views, you get a certain amount of money. So the more views you get, the more money you get paid. But here's the downside to it. You'll get so caught up, and this is what happened to me. You get so caught up on getting paid, now every time you're trying to do a video, you trying to make it perform, so all you focus on is the money. And sometimes you got to always remember the reason you did this was to get paid, is so people can know where to go eat at. Because you get so excited, but then what started happening to me, y'all, I want to say depressed, I would start getting disappointed because I would post a video and it's not performing well. So then I'd be like, well, if it's not performing well, a brand not going to like this. If a brand don't like this, I can't get money. If I can't get money, then how am I continue to do this? Because I do it full time. So the only downside is when your life has to be more than a metric. Because if it's only based on metrics, what starts happening is everything you do is just for numbers. And you lose sight of the people, you lose sight of purpose, and you only focus on, dang, this video only did 10,000 views. 10,000 is a lot of views. But then I'm used to getting 500,000, 800,000. I don't want 10,000 no more. And I start to find myself getting caught up in the numbers, which starts to make me get jealous of other people. And that's why you got to always focus on what you're doing and not what nobody else doing. Because I start looking at other influencers and I start getting mad. Like, my video's better than them. I dress better than them. I look better than them. I got more followers than them. Why are they getting all these opportunities I'm not getting them? So that's why it's good to focus on that, but that must not be primary. Because whenever you focus on money as your primary, eventually your character will show up, and how you really feel is eventually going to come out.
So going back to you talking about how you were focusing on just yourself, what was one of your first moments when you were just focusing on just yourself where you felt that you were really being watched, like such as maybe you helped out a business for the first time or some experience such as that?
This is when I realized, like, this is serious. It was a restaurant. They was on the south side. They couldn't afford their rent. And I threw a festival, and they made like $60,000 that day. And she was able to make payroll. And it didn't really like hit me, like, I'm posting videos having fun, and this lady was like able to pay salary to people that, you know, could really help their lives. And that's when I realized, like, yo, what I'm doing is really blessing other people. And while I was doing this, I was still working. I was not getting paid. Like, I didn't really start getting paid till like 2 years ago, honestly. So I was doing this for like 7 years. And I will tell y'all, like, you got to spend years serving before you start leading. Like, let me see, I'm 33. I met my mentor at 18. I started Black People Eats at 26. I didn't really start getting paid until I was like 29, 30.
Oh, wow.
So it took like 13 years for me to get to this point. And most people don't want to wait that long because they want it now. You know, I gave away $100,000 before I made $100,000. I raised $100,000 in 2 weeks during COVID, and we gave it all away. I could have took some money because I raised it, but I gave it away, and I was broke. I needed the money. And I gave $100,000 away. See, most people don't want to do that because they only think about themselves. Like, I had to serve another man's vision before I start leading other people. And I still serve somebody else. Like, I still go to church every Sunday, volunteer with my church. I still serve my mentor. I still do stuff with him, you know, because, like, at the end of the day, I'm not successful for me. I'm successful to bless other people. You know, I don't have all these followers for me. I have all these followers to be a blessing to other people. And I think sometimes people want to be successful for themselves. I used to be that person. Mm-hmm. You know, I wanted awards to show off. I wanted awards to brag. I wanted money so I could buy the fly stuff, so I could stun on people. I was that person. And you got to be real with yourself. Like, do I want this because I really want it? Or do I want this to stroke my ego? Like, do I want this to bless somebody? Or I want this to stun on somebody? Like, there was times where I wanted to stunt. There was times where I want this brand deal so I can brag and show people that I'm him. And a lot of people don't be real and tell other people that. So I started to idolize my business. Like, my business became my life. Like, my business was over everything. It was over God. It was over church. It was over people. It was over family. Like, my business was number one in my life. I started to idolize my business so much. And guess what happened? My business started to go down. My views went down. My followers dropped. I started losing brand deals. And there was, like, I think a period, about a year, where I really wasn't making no money. And God had to, like, humble me to show me, I only gave you this to bless other people. And I was looking at what I thought I built, realizing, like, I'm only managing this. Anybody can come up and start doing this. He can give this to anybody. And that's why I will always, like, especially tell y'all generation, I know you want to be successful, but you got to check your heart. Because a lot of us, our heart's not in the right place. My heart can't be in the right place if I get mad that you got an opportunity before me. My heart's not in the right place. My heart's not in the right place if I can find every reason why you shouldn't have it instead of being grateful that you have it and it's not even my time to have it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's where I always tell, like, y'all generation, check your heart before you want something. Like, what's the real reason you want this?
So that kind of brings me into, I do want to know, so what was the beginning vision? What was that, what was that, you know, when the time that you're really thinking up this idea, what did that look like? Can you kind of describe what that was for us?
So when I first started, I said, I just want people to look at my videos and be happy and see food and just go get it, right? But you lose sight of the vision. And that's why y'all all got at least one good friend that help you remind you of yourself. You need that person in business. You need that person. So an article came out called Back to Black, 24 Black-owned restaurants to support during Black History Month. I had just got started in my business, and I got mad. So my vision was to help support Black-owned restaurants in Chicago. So I looked at the article, and I said, why did this person write this article and not ask me about none of these restaurants? How dare they not include me? I was at work. I was mad. So
What was
then,
your following at that time?
My following at that time probably was like, I was growing. So I started to grow really quick. Mm-hmm. Like, my business grew real quick. I think at that time I probably was at 1,000. But I was the only person known for Black restaurants, so nobody was doing it. So then I felt like they copying my style. They trying to use my, so I got an attitude. So then my business manager at the time told me, what's your vision? And I said, to highlight Black-owned restaurants. And this is why you need a reminder. She said, so you're upset that the Sun-Times is highlighting Black-owned restaurants and they didn't include you. So yeah. She said, well, that's your ego. That's because your vision is to help restaurants and the restaurants is getting the shine. But you mad because you're not the one giving them the shine. And that's when I had to realize, like, I'm upset because I didn't get promoted. When literally, you know, God tells us, you know, if you exalt yourself, you should be abased. He wants us to be humble. He does not want us to have a proud look. He doesn't want us to be proudful about anything. But I wanted, and I needed that reminder. And throughout my career, like I was constant, because I sometimes lose sight of that. My goal is for restaurants to get attention, not Jeremy. But I'm mad. Why am I mad? Because my heart's not right. Because my heart was right, I would have been excited about that article. I would have shared that article. But instead, I tried to pick every reason why I couldn't. And that's when you realize you got to stay to your vision. Because if you don't stay to your vision, that's how you start getting jealous of people. That's how you get envious of people. That's how you get coveted as people. And covetous is desiring another person's lifestyle because you only worried about everybody else instead of what am I supposed to be doing. So it's easy for me to not appreciate. And that's what I got to a point. I said, you know what? I'm not appreciative. I'm a full-time entrepreneur. Less than 4% of content creators make $100,000. I've made over $100,000 every year since I've been an entrepreneur. But I'm mad because I'm not getting this opportunity. That is wrong. Because I'm upset when 90% of content creators don't even make what I make. You know, my wedding was sponsored. My wedding rings was sponsored. My honeymoon, I got paid to go on my honeymoon. But I'm mad because I can't get this opportunity. Like, that's not the right heart posture. So that's why when you get a vision, you need people around you to help you stay level-headed. Because I don't want people to lose what I did, and lose brand deals, and lose opportunities. And gotta get humble for God for you to tell you, like, you need to get yourself back together because I didn't give you none of this influence for you. I gave this for you to change the world, and that's it.
I mean, you're really saying some really powerful sentiments
Because
right
I want
now.
to keep it real with y'all, man.
You
I
are
don't wanna lie to
keeping it real
y'all.
with us. So I do want to ask you, how important is it to be consistent with your content? You kind of touched bases on this a little bit, but I want you to go a little bit more in depth. I know that you often have to switch up a little bit, but there's still a consistent basis behind everything that you do. So how important is that for you?
How many of y'all want to be great? All right, now let me ask y'all a question. Don't raise your hand. I want you to think about it. Do you practice whatever you want to do every day? I want you to think about it. Now, as you grow, there will be times where you don't have to do it every day. But in the beginning, that's what separates you from everybody else. When I first started, I posted every day, twice a day for 6 months. I'm young and I got time. There's no reason why I can't post something every day. You're not married. Some people may have kids, but if you got a kid, it's different. I ain't had no kids. A relationship is not my main focus. So there is no reason why I can't do this every day. There's literally no reason at y'all age why you cannot do what you want to do every single day. If you want to be a dentist, you can look that up every day. If you want to be a content creator, you can post that every day. If you want to be a shoe blogger, you can post stuff every day. You got the time. You know, consistency is what separates you. Because when you feel like quitting, consistent people always remain. Because they just do it every day. And what started happening as I posted every day, I got better. I started realizing what works, what don't work, what people like, what people don't like. Now I post like once a week, sometimes once or 2 weeks. But I built that audience. But the times where I don't post, people not seeing me like that. And I also bring it to a relationship. How would you feel, you know, if you was in a relationship and your boyfriend or girlfriend told you, I ain't gonna call you for another 2 weeks? Hey, you might start looking for somebody else. And somebody else can grab that attention. So I also keep in mind, too, the times that I'm not giving my community attention, somebody else is giving them attention. And, you know, some people remain faithful, right? And then some people, what do we know? Some people, they eyes start drifting in other places. Next thing you know, they falling in love with this creator because the one that they really loved wasn't giving them attention. So you got to remember, a lack of consistency will always end a commitment. People who are committed to you break the commitment when they stop being consistent. You know, so consistency is a pillar.
Yeah, especially with, I mean, the way that social media is run in general. I mean, everything is moving so quick, and it's on to the next trend, on to the next video. So that is, I mean, what you said is amazing, and I think that's something that our students can really take from. It's just, you know, continue to keep, you know, pushing forward, keep making your face and your brand and everything known, and that's something that will really push you forward and help you out.
Like an example, what you want to do?
Me, I want to go into biomechanics.
So let's say biomechanics, right? This is what I always tell people about consistency. Let's say because of your schedule, right? You might say, I can only show up twice a week. You can tell your community, hey y'all, every Tuesday and Friday, you gonna get a video from me. If that's all you can give, consistency means whatever you can be consistent with. You know, like my wife only like going on dates twice a month. I got some friends, they wife want to go on a date every week. It's whatever you can be consistent with. As long as you can be consistent to that, that's how you fall in love with your community. Consistency doesn't always mean every day. It means what you can do at 100% of excellence and always showing up.
So, with the majority of your community loving you, as you said,
Mm-hmm.
there are going to be parts where there are going to be negative people. How do you deal with facing negativity at times?
What I've had to learn is most people, when they negative, the thing isn't the thing. Like I took a husband and training class, and what I had to realize, and I apply to business, is the thing is never the thing. Like y'all ever had somebody around y'all have an attitude? Typically it's about something else. Some probably happened at home, some going on with their mom or dad. Like they could have experienced a bad breakup. You know, me and my wife was arguing about something before I got here. Now imagine if I brought that emotion to this conversation. The thing is the thing. Sometimes you gotta learn how to, it's deeper than that. And if you care about that person, you can figure out, man, let me see what's going on with my homie. He ain't used to, snapping like this. Or my teacher that's nice, she not used to talking to me like this. Why are they doing this? So when I would see negative comments, I would reply, because I'm a man of God. I would reply, God bless you. I'm sorry you didn't experience that. My experience was different, but hey. Now, this is my advice to content creators. I tell them, you don't need to be negative to other people online. I'm not going to argue with a stranger. I don't even know you. If I know you and you say something negative, I'm going to just call you. But you don't spend time, because this is why. I went to Jamaica, and I asked them what made them invite me. And the lady told me she looked at my Instagram, my business one, and my personal one. She looked at them. She looked at what I posted. She looked at my comments. And she said, I can tell that you was a real man of God because you were positive in the way you carry yourself. And I wanted somebody like this in Jamaica to represent my country. So people look at how you respond. I got some content creators that be telling people off. I got some friends that will cuss you out in their posts. I got some friends that will put it on their story. How dare this trolls? I don't say stuff like that because people watch you. You never know who watching you. I'm telling you. You never know. Me and my wife was out like on a date before we got married. I was downtown. I was hanging out, so I'm not working. And it was a group of people. And this man kept looking at me. And y'all know, when somebody keep looking at you, you kind of like, bro, what you looking at? But he kept looking at me. I was like, man, I really don't want to say nothing to this dude. But this dude keep looking at me, and it's starting to bother me. And then he walked up, and he's like, hey, are you Jeremy? I like, yes, sir. He was like, oh, I'm one of the executives for the Bears. I appreciate the content you did. I really liked it. Now imagine if I would have said something. Or I remember one time I was out with my friends, and one of them kept saying the N-word, and I said, hey, bro, I'm going to be real. I know you can do what you want to do, but listen, I got a contract with this company, and in my contracts, I can't even get in trouble like that. Bro, don't say this around. Bro, can you just don't say that around me? Now, if you in your house, you can do what you want to do. I said, but bro, we out in public. I don't know who none of these people are. You can't say nothing. I can't be associated with this. Because when you start to get these contracts, they tell you can't be harmed. You can't say offensive things. You can't get in trouble. You can't be around certain, because they'll revoke your contract. So you got to be even careful who you be around, in those moments, because your friends can make you lose contracts.
So I did want to ask you too, I'm glad you kind of brought this up a little bit. So how do you handle, just being mindful when you're trying different cultural foods as well? So how do you handle that review?
So I'm the type of person where I believe that if everybody here has different backgrounds, right? Different cultures, different ethnic backgrounds. Like, anybody ever been to New Orleans? Anybody ever been to New Orleans? Okay. Anybody got any family from New Orleans? Okay. So, you like your gumbo brown or red? Brown. Okay. Now, a lot of gumbos out here is red. He's probably more cultured of NOLA food, of Creole food. So imagine if my gumbo is a famous gumbo and it's a brown stew. It's a brown roux. Mm-hmm. And he come try it. He like, this is 2 out of 10. It's nasty. It's all based on perspective. So what I had to learn is food is subjective and taste is objective. Meaning there's different type of taste. And taste is based on your upbringing, your ethnic background. Like when I was in Carolina, they use pimento cheese. We don't really have pimento cheese in Chicago. Mm-hmm. So they got pimento mac and cheese. We don't do that. Or like catfish here, we use like flour. When I was in Mississippi, they use cornmeal. So the batter was a little loose. I didn't like that batter. But imagine me coming and saying, well, this is 0 out of 10. It's not really a 0 out of 10. It's I prefer my batter to be on my fish versus more of like a cornmeal. So what I've had to learn is when you taste food, you got to learn to appreciate cultures and learn this is either my perspective or this isn't. And my perspective is really going to be based on my taste. And my taste is affected by my upbringing. So like a real food critic can't just say, this water is a 7 out of 10, it's alkaline. You have to be able to explain taste and explain flavor. And most people are not educated to do that. You got to really go around the world eating to know what flavor is. Mm. Like, for example, I just started getting into Mexican cuisine. So when I was in New Mexico, I had huevos rancheros. Out there, they use corn flour. I was talking to my friend who's Mexican here. They use flour. Out here, he was like, why would I put flour on that? We use corn. 2 different cultures, but they're Southwest. They have different type of, like they have blue corn, we have yellow corn. So the flavor is going to be different. Everything's going to be different. So I can't go down there and expect Chicago food in New Mexico. And that's what a lot of people do. They compare. Most people be like, nobody cook better than my grandma. So my grandma got the best mac and cheese. So then you go somewhere else and be like, this mac and cheese is nasty. It's not nasty. It's just not your preference.
And I like that you really pointed out that, you really do a little bit more research behind where you're going as well, just to find out just even the comparisons and just be knowledgeable about that off, just from the beginning before you even say anything out to the public. So I can appreciate that as well.
Like example. Thank you. You like jerk chicken?
Do.
Who like jerk chicken in here? Now, watch this. So I've been to Jamaica like a lot. Like I work with the government a lot. When y'all think of jerk chicken, what do y'all think jerk chicken is? Spicy. Mm-hmm. Wrong. Guess what jerk is a flavor. Mm-hmm. So they take the chicken, they put it on the grill, and they got apple wood chips, so it's smoked. Jerk is a flavor. Out here, jerk is a spice. That's why when you get jerk chicken out here, it don't taste like how it do in Jamaica. Because there,
absolutely correct.
It is a flavor, and then the spice comes from what? The sauce. Versus here, you get some jerk chicken, and you like, yo, but then there's a difference between jerk chicken and pan chicken. Pan chicken is like jerk chicken, but with mild sauce. Mm-hmm. So they have a ketchup-based sauce. You can get it like from the street. Because I had it, and I was like, yo, this tastes like jerk chicken with mild sauce. But they call it pan chicken. It's different styles. Then I learned jerk chicken in Kingston is not the same as jerk chicken in Montego Bay and the grill. It's all different because the way they cook, they're going to use different woods, different. But most people will say, oh, that's some good jerk chicken because it's spicy, and that's not even real jerk chicken.
I'm glad that you actually stopped there because you're making us all hungry. I think I can hear the stomachs growling from the back. But I do want to just wrap it up with one more question because we are running out of time. So I do want to just know or just answer for all of our students here. Do you see food influencing as a long-term career path for you or in general?
Yeah, food is the number one content consumed on the internet. 86% of restaurants are made because of food content. 56% of travel is based on food. Like 70% of people make travel, vacations based on what they see online for food. Food is like, you can get tired of seeing somebody speak after a while.
Yeah.
You can never get tired of looking at food. You can look at food all day.
You know, I honestly agree. I look at Instagram reels of crab legs often. You know, that does bring me a little joy just to see that. So I never get tired of that. But I really do appreciate you coming, speaking to our students. I think that everybody did enjoy. Can I get some claps for that?
I appreciate it. And if they got any questions, I would love to answer any questions y'all have that y'all might want to ask me that's either like food related, you know, because like to your point, and I thank y'all for having me, because a lot of times people don't know like what do they have to give up. Mm-hmm. I lost friends building this. Like I had people tell me, I'm the reason why you started this. You should give me credit. Like my parents didn't even believe in what I was doing at first. They thought I was crazy when I quit my job.
And I'm glad that you kind of leaned into that, because I think a lot of people just see the glamour side of everything and they really don't know what all it takes, the sacrifices that you have to make, the people that you lose in the midst of it. So I do want to invite all of the students to come up at the end and just ask more questions, you know, dig deeper into what you want to know about social influencing and just getting into this type of business. But I thank you again for your time. I thank you for coming to talk to us. So can we just get everyone to clap just one more time for our special guest?
Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And don't feel free to come up. I'm an open book. I will answer any questions. Oh, I will say this though. There's one book I think y'all all should read. It is Purple Cow by Seth Godin. You should read Purple Cow by Seth Godin and Everyone Communicates But Few Connects by John Maxwell. Purple Cow is going to help you how to stand out and be unique. And John Maxwell is going to help you how to communicate, because communication is the key to going to the next level. Because especially with y'all generation, if you learn how to master how to communicate, you will win at every level. You will stand out. I'm telling you, because a lot of these influencers didn't go to business school, so they don't know how to communicate, how to talk to people. They don't know how to treat people. They show up late, like, to different events. So, like, they don't really know that stuff. So I wanted to tell y'all that because books helped me become successful when I wasn't serving other people, and I just wanted to share that with y'all.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Do we have any questions from the audience? Anybody want to answer ask any questions? Go ahead.
Say your name and speak up loud.
If you can stand up for a second, just so we can hear you and see you.
My name is Terry. Have you ever got food poisoning from any of your restaurants you went to? And also, how much average monthly followers do you get?
I'll tell y'all this. Y'all ain't gonna believe this. I ain't gonna tell you where I was at. I was out the country. I was eating a dish, and I bit something, and I felt like it was hard. And I looked, and I like spit it out, looked on my plate like 2 minutes later, and it was a bug the size of a roach on my plate. Yes, I was very upset. But I had to control my emotions because I was on a brand trip. And I cannot just snap on somebody. So I had to politely, in a nice way, tell them I'm very upset. Like, it was a bug in my mouth. And it's like, I was mad. So to your point, yes, that has happened. And I had to tell them, because it wasn't the company, it was the hotel. So I couldn't just snap on them because I still got a brand, you know what I'm saying? And then followers, when I first got started, in my first 6 months, I got to 10,000. In year 12, I was at 12,000. Year 2, I was at 36. Year 3, I was at 86, and I was verified. Year 4, I was like 150. Year 5, I was at like 200. And then year 6, I was like 210. Now I'm at like 215, but that's one platform. The other ones is like total like 400,000. So on average, I was getting like 15. One of the videos just gave me like 40,000 followers. But with y'all, it's different now. You can do one video, man, and you can just blow up. So I would always say, don't think about the average of the followers. Think about, do I have the capacity to manage this community? Because if it's one thing that I did wrong, that if I could go back, is I would have started doing more community stuff. Like as my followers grew, I should have had like dinners at restaurants, or I should have had like small gatherings where all of us are gonna go to a restaurant. I wish I would have did more community stuff, and I didn't. That's the only thing I would say. As you grow your community, do stuff with them and start small. Even if it's 2 people, even if it's 3 people, because now I'm trying to do what I should have did when I first got started.
Okay.
You had
Do
a
we have any
question?
more questions? Oh, go ahead.
Is there any brand deals you had to decline, and can you tell us why?
That camera still recording?
Can you stand up and repeat that question one more time?
Is there any brand deals you had to decline, and can you tell us why?
Okay. Because that camera on, I ain't gonna tell you which the company is. I was still working. It was $1 billion company. I had a meeting with them, and it didn't feel right. Somebody had used my name to get funding. They wanted to go live, and they wanted me to say how much I fundraised, and I was thinking, like, for what? I realized they used my name, and they tried to get a partnership with a liquor company. I don't drink. So I ended up having to, like, and I could have took them to court, but I just said, we not finna partner on nothing. So then I was in this meeting, and the whole time I'm in the meeting, y'all ever been talking to somebody and they doing like this? This is a professional. Now, if one of y'all was doing that, I'd give y'all the benefit of the doubt because y'all young. This is like somebody who's been in the industry for like 20 years, because I asked him, he was in a meeting like this the whole time. So I'm like, yo, this is disrespectful. Like, if I did this in a meeting, I would be looked at bad. So he like very disinterested. So then they started giving me this slideshow, and then they said, these are companies we working with, and it was a company that had snaked me out. But I low-key need the money. So I looked at it, and I was like, man, I'm gonna have to say no. So I had to tell them no. Then when I told them no, they was like, well, can you send us a list of all the black restaurants? And I was like, nah. And I was upset. 2 weeks later, I ended up getting a deal with Discover. Now, that same company that told me no, I ended up working with a whole different department years later, and I've been working with them for like 3-4 years. So no today don't mean like no tomorrow, but I had to trust. So I'm a man of God, so I had to trust the Holy Spirit. I was like, something about this is off. Like, why would I work with somebody who working with somebody who just snaked me out? So like, there's been a lot of brands that I've told no because of my values. If there's one thing I would say, write a list of something that you value. You know, and if you don't value certain things, don't work with that company. You know, like, example, I love McDonald's. I still eat McDonald's. I don't mind working with McDonald's. My friends be like, bro, how you eat? I still love McDonald's. So I don't mind working with McDonald's, but I got friends who like, well, I don't work with them. But it's all about your values. Like, I would say to everybody in this room, write down 3 things you value. Like 3 things. 3 things. And whatever those things is, when you work with somebody, I look at their value statement. And then I say, I'm sorry, our values are not aligned. We can't work together. But there's been a lot of companies I had to tell no to when I did not want to. And I needed the money. But you got to say no, because your character and integrity is worth more than money. Because people, when money get involved, people will test your character. Like, they'll make you become a whole different person. They'll try you. So that's what I would say. You can't say yes to everybody.
Okay, we have time for one more question. All right, here you go.
Okay, earlier you had said you have to have a following. Like, what's a following to you? Like an audience.
Now?
Yeah. Like, no, people starting out. Like, what's a following to you?
Is this following for a contract? Is it for a community? Is it for a brand partnership?
Because earlier you had said you have to have an audience,
Mm-hmm.
like, so people can listen to you. Like, what's an audience to you?
All right, I mean, if you walk outside and nobody follow you, do you have an audience?
No.
You walk outside and one person follow you, do you have an audience? Yes, you do.
Oh, yeah.
If I follow you outside,
Oh, yeah.
I might be the only person, but you got an audience, right?
Yeah.
The audience begins the moment one person starts the journey with you.
Okay, and I have another question.
Mm-hmm.
How many how many places have you been that brands funded? Like, yeah.
Like trips?
Yeah.
All right, let me see. In the last year, I think I've been to like 7 countries. I went to Jamaica 3 times, Barbados, Bahamas, Antigua and Barbuda. My wife and I is getting ready to go to Nevis, St. Kitts. And that's not including the states. Like, I've been in Houston, Asheville, Carolina. I just came back from Oakland. I get traveled a lot, and I get paid from government contracts. So, like, I never knew no foodies only focus on food festivals. So I said, I'm not going to do restaurants no more. That's played out. Everybody do that. I do food festivals. Because now I'm targeting people who spend money to travel, and now it brings me a different audience. So I've been to like, I went to Dubai. I went to Switzerland. My wife and I, we getting ready to go to Italy for like 2 weeks. Like, this is taking me places I've never thought I would go to.
And he go into a little bit more detail. So what exactly are they paying for when they're bringing you out to these different places?
Okay, so when you first start, I heard somebody say this. Certain companies can give you certain things, right? So if I'm working with a Fortune 500 company, they got a bigger budget. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not going to work with, like, I was working with a smaller program, and I remember one time they was like, we can't pay you anything. And I was like, okay, cool, because I cared about the kids. But if I'm working with this $1 billion company, you know, they paying for my flight. They paying for me to get there. They paying for all of my food every day. They paying for any excursions I do. And they pay me. Like I just did something with Disney. They all pay for everything. And then sometimes you get paid. So like on my honeymoon, they gave us 7 days. They paid for both of my wife and I flights. They paid for all our excursions, a romantic dinner. They gave her a photo shoot because it was her birthday. And they gave me some money. So like those are, but you got to know who to charge and what to charge with. Like everybody's budget is different. You know what some people do? You can't get 5-star cuisine at McDonald's. You know, I'm not going to charge this company when I'm going to charge that company. And that's how a lot of creators, you got to know who and what to charge. So it depends. But like the standard, you got to pay me to leave my house. Like, and if you're not paying me, you paying for everything. I'm not paying for nothing when I leave my house because I can make like 8,000, 9,000, 10,000. I've gotten paid 10,000 to do one video and no editing. I just ate. So you're not finna have me come at my house and waste my time and not do nothing unless I got relationships with people. Now, when you have a relationship with somebody, it's not about the money. Like if my mentor called me, like he called me and say, hey, I need you to come speak to these kids. They having a program. Dr. McKenzie don't got to worry about me charging him for that because he's my mentor's mentor. And I have a relationship with Dr. McKenzie has given me stuff when I first got started, and he don't even know how much he blessed me. So I don't have to, because that's relationship. But the problem is, I think with our generation, money is over everything, and it can't be. Like some things, it has to be more about the relationship than the money. It has to be, relationships matter more than money. And it's hard because you be struggling. I need this pay and I need this money. But relationships matter more than money. The only reason I got a lot of brand deals today is because of relationships. Like there was one brand, I got invited to, y'all know Food Network? I got invited to a Food Network. I was there, Keith Lee was there, Kimi Creations was there. They didn't pay me. I was like, this would be a good opportunity. Guess what happened? One of the brands there emailed me and say, hey, you're going to be in Miami. We want you to come to a happy hour and post something on your story. We give you $1,000. I said, okay. Normally I would charge more, but I said, okay, it's on my story. I went there, got invited to a cooking competition, won a competition, won $1,500. So now I was going down there for free. I won $2,500. Then I got down there, met a tourism board in Florida, and got an opportunity and connection with them. All because of relationship. Because the girl who invited me, I met at the Bahamas. See, you gotta know, like, treating people right matters more than getting paid. You do gotta get paid. But some things you gotta do on relationship. Some things, relationship matters more than the dollar. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, this weekend I got invited to Vegan Deal. I've worked with them before. I didn't get paid this year. I emailed them late. She sent me 2 VIP tickets. She didn't ask me to do this. I did a video, edited the video this morning, posted the video this morning just because she invited me. I didn't have to do it, but why? Because I care about the relationship. Mm-hmm. I want to keep the relationship. And just because you don't work with somebody no more don't mean you can't foster that relationship. Sometimes it's about relational maintenance. You always got to maintain relationships because the person you screw over is going to be the person you see on the other end. You never know when you're going to see another person. That's why you got to always be kind to everybody. People going to piss you off. People going to snake you out. People going to backstab you. People going to get on your nerves. People going to do wrong by you. You still be nice to them. When you get upset, call somebody that you can confide in. Don't take it out on that person because you might need them. You never know when you're going to need somebody. You never know when you're going to need a person. Like, what if I snap on you today and then 10 years you become the vice president or something and I'm trying to ink a deal and you remember me and now you devalue my deal? I don't know who you know. What if your cousin is the person that I'm about to go meet? What if your uncle is the president that I'm about to go meet? But I'm mad because I didn't like what you did to me. So now I'm going to take that to snap on you. That's why you got to be grounded in your emotions. It's okay to be angry, to be upset, to be mad, to be frustrated, to be pissed off, but don't let that out on another person. Call your friend that you can trust. Call your therapist or call a mentor. Tell them how you feel. Do not do it online. Don't do it to the person because the moment you do it, you can't take that moment back. And that moment might be the moment you lose. My friend, we was at a partnership. She snapped on a person, and I told her you shouldn't have said that. This PR firm run all the events in Chicago. No, this is the moment I'm finna tell you about yourself. You ain't finna treat me like that. Nobody gonna treat me like that. My mama don't even. It don't matter. Everybody don't value treating people right. But just because somebody treats you wrong, that does not mean you gotta be the bigger person. And it's hard. Forgiveness, hard. Being a bigger person, hard. But you got to be the bigger person. Those are the things that helps you stand out to me.
Thank you for that. And you've been dropping some amazing gems right now. And I don't mean to kind of cut you short a little bit. But we do have to kind of get our students out for lunch and then send a couple of kids out the door. So we can get our Inglewood kids to stand up and go ahead and head towards the lunch room. And go ahead and grab your meal so that we can get you off on the van and out the door. But for those other students that still have questions to ask, you can come to the front. But let's leave with the last clap. Thank you. Thank you.